Yeah. So very good evening to all of you. So we are discussing about the general organic chemistry lesson, right? So far we have completed 2 lectures on this, in which we have covered the very important part, the nomenclature. We did not complete that. Today we will continue it. So we have covered the nomenclature in the previous class, and before that we have came across with some introduction to organic chemistry. Okay. So in the last class, we have completed till the nomenclature of the straight chain hydrocarbons, right? So if you remember, we have covered the nomenclature, IUPAC nomenclature of the straight chain hydrocarbons. Okay. So as I have already told you, an IUPAC nomenclature will have a prefix and a root word and a suffix. We have discussed about each and everything. Now we are applying for the compounds, right? So today we are going to see the nomenclature of branched chain alkanes. Nomenclature of branched chain hydrocarbons or branched chain alkanes. So here we have to follow some set of rules which has been given by IUPAC. Okay. So the very first rule to be followed is the longest carbon chain in the molecule is identified. This is rule number 1. Longest carbon chain, which is otherwise called as parent chain. So the longest carbon chain in the molecule is identified. Okay. So this is one of the example I have taken for you. So here, can anyone tell me which chain? Which is the longest chain? Which is the longest chain? It is the straight chain, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this chain has more number of carbon atoms. And secondly, we can also go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can take this chain also, but it has only 8 carbons. So which one is correct? The first one or the second one? Which is the longest chain? Every time the longest chain need not be a straight chain. Okay, it can be a zigzag kind of thing also. Okay, so you should not keep in mind that every time the longest chain will be the straight chain. Okay, so Nandini, very good. The correct answer is the first compound. So because it has 9 carbons, so that is the correct way of finding the longest carbon chain, and the second one is incorrect. Okay, the longest carbon chain is identified. Then what you have to do after finding out this, secondly, you have to start numbering. Okay, the numbering in such a way that the branched carbon atoms get the lowest possible number. The branched carbon atoms should get the lowest possible number. Okay, so here in this compound you see, I have taken only the carbons of the previous compound. Okay, I did not mention the hydrogens. So here we have 2 branches. So one is methyl. If I'm having only 1 carbon, it is methyl. And here the other one is ethyl. Okay. So methyl is attached with second carbon and ethyl is attached with the 6th carbon in the first case. Whereas in the second case, methyl is attached with carbon number 8 and ethyl is attached with carbon number 4. So what does the rule says? The numbering is done in such a way that the branched carbon atoms should get the lowest possible number. This is called as Locant's rule. This is called as Locant's rule. Okay. The branches are attached to the carbon, right? So those carbons should have the lowest possible number. So in the first case, we have 2 and 6. In the first case, we have 2 and 6, which is equal to 8. In the second case, we have 8 plus 4, which is equal to 12. So which is the lowest number? 8 is the lowest number. So the correct way of numbering is the first one. Okay. The second method is, second way is incorrect because it has 8 and 4. It is giving the number 12, which is the largest one compared to the first. So it is incorrect. Okay. This is called as lowest locant rule. This is called as lowest locant rule. Is it clear to all of you? You cannot number the carbon atoms in the parent chain in your own way. You cannot go for both left to right and right to left numbering. Okay, you have to follow the locant rule and then only you have to number. So here left to right numbering is the correct way of numbering for this compound. Is it clear to all of you? So what you have to do? First find out the more number of carbon containing chain, then start numbering. Okay, numbering should be done in such a way that the branched carbon should get the lowest possible number. Shall I go for the third rule? Any doubt from the first two rules for anyone? Shall we go for the third rule? Okay, clear. Yeah. So now let's go ahead with rule number 3. Rule number 3 says the names of the alkyl groups attached as a branch are then prefixed to the name of the parent alkane. So all the substituents or all the branches should be written as a prefix to the parent alkane. So you all know what is a parent alkane, right? So the number of carbons in the parent chain is called as parent root word. That is called as parent alkane. And the position of substituents is indicated by appropriate number. Position of the branch or the position of the substituent is indicated by appropriate number. So as I have already told you, we have two branches. One is called as methyl and the other one is called as ethyl. Other one is called as ethyl. Okay, these two are the branches. These two are the substituents. Okay, so substituents should be placed in as a prefix. Substituents should be placed as a prefix to the parent alkane. So in the parent chain, I have 9 carbon. So if I have 9 carbon, what is the root word? Can anyone tell me? If I have 1 carbon, it is methane. 2 carbon means ethane. 3 means propane. What is the answer for 9 carbon containing alkane? Very good. It is nonane. Chandu, it is not nanoane, it is nonane. Okay. So nonane is the parent alkane. Now this methyl and ethyl should come in as a prefix. And also you have to mention the number. You have to mention the number of carbon to which these substituents are attached. Okay. So methyl is attached with second carbon and ethyl is attached with sixth carbon. Okay. Now, what I have to do? Do I need to write methyl first or ethyl first? Any idea? Which one has to be written first? Methyl or ethyl? Is it methyl? No, it is ethyl. It is ethyl. I will discuss this in the next rule, okay? So, if you are having more than one substituent, you have to use the alphabetical order. Very good, Chandu. Ishrat, correct. Nandini is also correct. So, ethyl, E comes first in the alphabet, right? M comes next only. So, the name of the compound is 6-ethyl, 2-methyl, no name. So 6-ethyl, 2-methyl is the prefix. Non is the root word. A and E is the suffix. So an IUPAC nomenclature should have a prefix, root word and a suffix. Okay, and this is how you have to name this compound. Yeah, that's what I also have said, no? Isharat. Am I pronouncing correctly? Isharat. Aisha. Is it Aisha? Is it correct now? Am I pronouncing it properly now? Aisha? Isharat. Okay. Isharat. Is it okay now? Isha or Aisha? Which one is correct? Aisha? Okay. Aisha is correct, right? I'm pronouncing it properly only, no? Okay. Okay, sorry, my dear, if I have Isharat. Okay. Okay. See, if I'm pronouncing it wrongly, kindly for
Madam, sound is not audible. Ma'am, audio is not audible.
voice now. Can you able to hear my voice now? Now it is okay, right? All right. Is it completely audible? Fine, fine, fine. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much. So there is some issue. There is some issue here. That's right. Okay, now let's go ahead with the next rule. So ethyl is attached to the sixth carbon. So that's why it is named as 6-ethyl, and methyl is attached to the second carbon. So it is 2-methyl. Okay. So this is rule number 3. So the numbering is from 1 to 9. So here, one more thing. Listen. So prefix, root word and suffix, they should not have any space in between them. Okay, you should not leave any space in between them. So there should not be any break or gap in writing the root word and the suffixes. Got it? At the same time, numbers are separated from groups by hyphen. Okay. So 6 is a number. And here E is the alphabet. So if you want to separate number and a letter, you have to use hyphen. If you want to separate number and another number, you have to use comma. Okay. You have to use comma. So keep this in your mind. If you're separating a letter and a number, use hyphen. If for separating number with another number, use comma. Okay. If different alkyl groups are present. So here we are having different alkyl groups. One is methyl and the other one is ethyl, right? As I have already told you, if different alkyl groups are present, go for alphabetical order. Go for alphabetical order. Okay. So these are the things which we have discussed now. Now let me go for the next rule. If two or more identical substituent groups are present, if two or more identical substituent groups are present, then numbers are separated by commas. Numbers are separated by commas. So the names of identical substituents, if I'm having 2-methyl or 3-methyl in my compound, then all those are identical substituents, right? They are not repeated. They are not repeated as 2-methyl, 3-methyl, 4-methyl. So instead of repeating the name again and again, you have to follow this. What you have to follow? If you are having 2-methyl, use di. If you are having 3-methyl, use tri. If you are having 4-methyl, use tetra. For 5, penta. For 6, hexa. So like this, it goes on. Okay. So let us see some examples. Let me take this compound. So see here, I have a straight chain, which is a parent chain, and I have two substituents. Both of the substituents are same. Both of them are methyl. One is attached to the second carbon and the other one is attached to the fourth carbon. Now, how to name this compound? It is named as 2,4 dimethyl pentane. 2,4 dimethyl pentane. You don't have to call this compound as 2-methyl, 4-methyl. Instead of repeating the methyl, use di. Okay, 2,4 dimethyl pentane. Very good, very good. All of you are giving me the answers correctly. Correct. Good. So let me go give one more example. Try to find out the name. So here in this compound, we won't be having hydrogen here. Okay. Yeah, this is the compound. Try to find out the name of this compound. So 5 carbons are present in the parent chain and we have 3 substituents. What is the correct name? Has anyone? Yeah, Chandu. 2,2,4 trimethyl pentane. Very good. This is 2,2,4 trimethyl pentane. Correct, correct. Exactly correct. 2, 2. No. Pragati, why? 2 to 3. It is 2 to 4, right? We are having the third methyl group in the fourth position only. So it is 2 to 4 trimethyl pentane. Very good. Yeah. So now one more compound. What about this? Find out the name of this compound. So this is CH2CH3. Okay. CH2CH3. This is ethyl substituent. And we have methyl substituent. And also we have one more methyl substituent to the fourth carbon. What is the name? What is the name of this compound? What is the name of this compound? 3-ethyl 4,4-dimethyl. Is it septane? Will you use sept for 7? In organic chemistry, what is the root word that we have to use for 7? Yeah, it is 3-ethyl 4,4-dimethyl. Pragati, you have missed di. It is 4,4-dimethyl heptane. Very good, Chandu. It is 4,4-dimethyl heptane. So what we have to do? We are having two different types of substituents. So first, we have to use the alphabetical listing. No issues, Pragati, no problem. Okay, just rectify the mistake. That is enough. Very good, students. So we have two different types of substituents. One is ethyl and the other one is methyl. So follow the alphabetical order. So according to the alphabetical listing, ethyl will come first. So 3-ethyl and 4,4 dimethyl. And the parent chain, we have 7 carbon, right? So it is heptane. So this is the prefix. This is the root word. And ANE is the suffix. Okay. Clear? So now let's go for rule number 5. Rule number 5 says if two substituents are found in equivalent position, then the lower number is given to the one coming first in the alphabetical listing. Listen. I have a compound. So these are the two different ways of numbering. In first case, left to right I have numbered. In the second case, I have numbered right to left. For both the ways of numbering, the substituent attached to carbon is bearing the same number, right? In first case, we are having 6 and 2. 6 and 3. In the second case also 6 and 3. So if you add 6 plus 3, you will get 9. Here also if you add 3 plus 6, you will get 9. So if two substituents are found in equivalent position, then how to number? Which is the correct way of numbering? The lower number is given to the one coming first in the alphabetical listing. Okay, so this is ethyl and this is methyl. So ethyl comes first. E comes first in the alphabetical order. So ethyl containing carbon should get the lowest number. So which one is correct? Case 1 or 2? Very good. 1. 1. So the name of the compound is 3-ethyl. The name of the compound is 3-ethyl 6-methyl octane. 3-ethyl 6-methyl octane. And what is the name of the second compound? It is 6-ethyl 3-methyl octane. That is incorrect. The first compound name is correct and the second one is incorrect. Okay. So there is only a very, very small difference between the rules. Okay. You just have to keep that small point from each rule. And you have to apply all the rules while naming a compound. Okay. All these rules you can apply to a compound only if you practice with more number of compounds. Otherwise, you will end up with a confusion. You may forget to follow one rule. Okay. And you will end up with the wrong answer. So you solve more number of questions as you can. Okay. For the IUPAC naming. Is it clear to all of you? Shall we go for the nomenclature of cyclic compounds? So this is all about the nomenclature of branched chain alkanes. So keep all these 5 rules in your mind. So these 5 rules are very important. Okay. Great. So next is the nomenclature of cyclic compounds. Saturated monocyclic compound is named by prefixing cyclo to the corresponding straight chain alkane. Saturated means only the single bond containing compound. Monocyclic means only one cycle containing compound. Okay. For example, I am taking this. So it is named as cyclopentane. Why it is called a cyclopentane? We have 5 carbons arranged in a cyclic manner. So use the prefix cyclo. That's all. Cyclopentane. Okay. So if the cyclic compound is having some substituents attached, then what you have to do? So see here. Here I have 2 substituents attached. Okay. So one is 1 carbon containing substituent and the other one is 3 carbon containing substituent. This is methyl and this is propyl. So now what I have to do? If more than 1 substituents are attached, then we have to start numbering, right? So how will you number? In the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction? So in the clockwise direction, if you start numbering this, you will go from methyl 1, 2, 3. Or in the anti-clockwise direction, if you are going, it is 1, 2, 3. So for both the way, for clockwise as well as for anti-clockwise, we are getting the same number. For clockwise, I am getting 1 and 3. And for anti-clockwise also, I am getting 1 and 3. For the carbons to which the substituents are attached. So alphabetical listing is the next one. Okay. So numbering can be done in either ways because we are getting the same number. So next thing is you have to go according to the alphabetical order. Okay. So according to the alphabet, so this is methyl, right? And this is propyl. So M comes first in the alphabet. So the numbering should be done according to the clockwise map. Okay. Now you start naming 1 methyl, 3 propyl, cyclohexane. 1 methyl, 3 propyl, cyclohexane. Okay. So do you have any doubt from this compound? Is it clear to all of you? 1 methyl, 3 propyl. The ring, this ring has 6 carbons, right? So it is called a cyclohexane. Is it clear to all of you? Shall I go for one more compound? Shall we go for one more compound? Shall we go for one more compound? Yeah. So take this. What is the name of this compound? Try the name. Try the name of this compound. All of you. We have 3 substituents here. two substituents are attached to the same carbon and both of them are methyl. And this is the third substituent, which is ethyl. Find out the name. No. How will you number this? How will you number? You have to go in the clockwise direction. Okay. I'll tell you why. 1, 2, 3. Clockwise manner is correct. Because to the carbon number 1, we have two substituents. So it should be 1 plus 1 plus 3. So which will be 5 for clockwise numbering. Okay. If you are going in the anti-clockwise direction, that is 1, 2, 3 like this. For anti-clockwise numbering, what will you get? You have 1 plus 3 plus 3. To the third carbon, we are having two substituents, right? So it is 1 plus 3 plus 3, which will come out to be 7. So this is incorrect. So clockwise numbering is correct. Clockwise numbering is correct. Okay. So then what you have to do? Then you have to name the compound with the alphabetical order. So obviously E will come first in the alphabetical order. So it is 3-ethyl. So let me erase the anti-clockwise numbering to avoid the confusion. So this is incorrect. Okay. So it is 3-ethyl, 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay. 3-ethyl, 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. Is it clear to all of you? Any doubt? While naming a compound, you have to follow the alphabetical order. Okay. While numbering the carbons, you have to follow the locant rule. All right. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Shall we go ahead with some questions? Shall we go ahead with some questions? Chandu, did you identify the mistake that you have made? Okay, listen. Here I have got the questions as well as the answer. Okay, listen. So in the first compound, the straight chain is the parent chain and we have 3 methyl groups attached. So it is 2, 5, 6 trimethyl octane. And the second compound, we have 2 substituents attached. Okay, 3 plus 5 is the correct way of numbering. And if you go from right to left also, you will get the same number 3 and 5. So the ethyl attached carbon should get the first preference because E comes first in the alphabet. So it is 3-ethyl, 5-methyl, heptane. 3-ethyl, 5-methyl, heptane. Okay. So this is how you have to practice with more number of questions. Okay. To get familiar with this IUPAC name. So far we have discussed the nomenclature of compounds, nomenclature of branched chain alkanes. Branched chain alkanes. So in all the compounds that we have discussed so far, we had only hydrogen and carbon. Okay, they are the alkanes. Now we are going to discuss about the nomenclature of compounds with one functional group. Nomenclature of compounds with one functional group. Okay. So you all know what is a functional group, right? We have already discussed. It is the reactive part of the molecule. Functional group is a reactive part of the molecule. So I have brought a list of functional groups, okay, and its formula and the prefix that you have to use and the suffix that you have to use. Okay. So the first 4 are, first one is carboxylic acid. Class of compound is carboxylic acid. And the formula is COOH, prefix is carboxy, suffix is oic acid. I will tell you when you have to use a prefix and when you have to use a suffix. Okay, don't worry. Then for ester, COOR, Alkoxycarbonyl is the prefix and O8 is the suffix. Oic acid, O8, all these are important. Okay, in most of the compounds, you will use the suffix for carboxylic acid and esters. All right. Then for acid halides, the formula is COX. Halocarbonyl is the prefix and oil halide is the suffix. Again here, the suffix is very important. And for amide, CONH2, this is primary, this is secondary and tertiary. So the prefix is carbamoyl and the suffix is amide. Again, suffix is very important for amide. Okay. So just take a screenshot or take a snap of it. Okay, and write it later in your notebook. So these are the first 4 class of compounds. Shall I go for the next slide? Shall I go for the next slide? Students, shall I go for the next slide? Yes or no? Taushia, Suhra, Chandu, Praveen, tell me. Shall we go for the next slide? Did you all note it? Okay. Okay, the next is aldehyde. Aldehyde formula is CHO. The prefix is formyl or oxo and the suffix is AL. Again, the suffix for aldehyde is important. AL. Aldehyde starts with AL, right? So the suffix is AL. And for ketone, C double bond O. RCOR is ketone. Prefix is oxo, suffix is ONE. Ketone ends with ONE. So the suffix is ONE. Okay. For nitrile, prefix is cyano. This is CYANO. Okay. Cyano and suffix is nitrile. Both are important. Okay. So you will use suffix. So both are important. And for amines, this is primary amine, this is secondary amine, and this is tertiary amine. For amines, the prefix is amino, suffix is amine. Okay. Suffix is important. For alcohol, the formula is OH. Prefix is hydroxy, very important. Suffix is OL. So alcohol ends with OL, right? So suffix is OL. And for sulfonic acid, the formula is SO3H. Prefix is sulfo, suffix is sulfonic acid. Okay. For nitro, prefix is nitro and there is no suffix for nitro group. So this is the second set of compounds. I am giving this in the priority order. Okay, write this in order. If 2 groups are present in your compound, then you have to follow the priority order. So the list is in the order of priority. Okay, so write this accordingly. So now I have 4 more class of compounds for you. I will go to that slide. This next one is next to nitro group is alkane. Alkane means you all know carbon-carbon single bond containing compounds, right? So there is no prefix for alkane, alkene and alkyne. Only suffix ANE, ENE, YNE. ANE, ENE and YNE. Okay. So double bond and triple bond. Lastly, we have halide. So halogens. F, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So these are the halogens, which are called as halo. If I am having a fluorine containing compound, then you have to use fluoro. Fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo. Okay. So these are the prefix that you have to follow. Clear? So this is the priority order with the prefix and suffix for different functional groups. Okay. Now let us go for step number 1. So while naming the compound functional group, step number 1 that you have to follow is identify the functional group in the compound first. So let me take one compound for you. So here we have one functional group. OH is the functional group. Who is the functional group? OH is the functional group, right? So can anyone tell me the name of this OH? What is the name of this class of compound? What is the name of OH containing compound? OH containing a functional group is called as alcohol. The class of compound is alcohol. Very good. Alcohol. So for alcohol, if you're having only one functional group, then you have to use suffix. If you're having only one functional group, then you have to use suffix. That's why I have given the importance for more compounds for suffix. Okay. Suffix should be given more importance. So for alcohol, what is the suffix? What is the suffix to be used for alcohol? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me the suffix that we have to use for alcohol? Very good. It is OL. The suffix to be used is OL. Okay, this is step number 1. We have to identify the functional group. Then, step number 2. Number the longest chain. Assign the lowest number to the carbon possessing the functional group. Number the longest chain. Assign the lowest number to the carbon possessing the functional group. So, functional group carrying carbon should get the least number. Okay, otherwise, the first preference has to be given to the carbon to which the functional group is attached. So, that's why we have followed right to left way of numbering for this compound. Okay, so left to right is incorrect because the lowest number is 2, not 4. So the first one is correct and the second one is incorrect. Okay, first one is correct, second one is incorrect. Is it clear up to this for all of you? Shall I go for the next? Shall I go for step number 3? Shall I go for step number 3? Yes. So in step number 3, you have to assign a root word. You all know what is a root word, right? So in the parent chain, we have 5 carbons, no? So what is the root word? Tell me, what is the root word? What is the root word that you have to use? Yeah, very good. 5 carbon means it is pent. 5 carbon means the root word is pent. And the parent chain, the straight chain has only carbon-carbon single bond. It has only carbon-carbon single bond. So next we have to assign primary suffix. Since it has only single bond, the primary suffix is A-N-E. Okay. Primary suffix is A-N-E. And the functional group is the alcohol, right? So that should be the secondary suffix. So the secondary suffix for alcohol is OL. Okay. Then we have assigned secondary suffix also. And what we have to do then? Position of the functional group should be mentioned. So number 2 is the position of the functional group attached to carbon. Okay, position of functional group is 2. So what you have to do, you have to replace the E of primary suffix with OL. So pentan to all. Pentan to all is the name of this compound. Pentan to all is the name of this compound. Is it clear to all of you? Any doubt? You guys have any doubt? Do you guys have any doubt from this? All right, right? 2-pentanol is also correct only, but more appropriate name is pentan to all. Okay, the position of the alcohol only we are mentioning, no? So before OL, if you put the number, then it will be more appropriate. Fine. Now let's go for one more compound. So this is the second compound. So can you find out the name? What is the root word for this compound? What is the root word for this compound? Can anyone tell me the root word for this compound? Is it pent? Just look into the compound. How many carbons we are having? We are having 6 carbons, right? Yes or no? So the root word will be hex. The root word is hex. Okay. And the primary suffix will be ene and yne because we have both double bond and triple bond. We have both double bond and triple bond. So it should be ene as well as yne. And coming to the secondary suffix is the main functional group, COOH. COOH is called as carboxylic acid. COOH is a carboxylic acid. So the suffix is oic acid. Suffix is oic acid. Okay, COOH is the main functional group, which is coming in the first preference. Okay, priority should be given for carboxylic acid. All right. So now number from the carboxylic acid containing carbon. So right to left numbering is correct. The position of the functional group is 1. So the IUPAC name is hex 2-ene 4-enoic acid. Hex 2-ene 4-enoic acid. Yeah, if your functional group contains carbon, then you have to number that carbon also. Okay. For example, COOH has carbon, right? COOH has carbon. So I have to number that carbon. C double bond H, aldehyde. Aldehyde also has carbon. So you have to number. Okay. Ketone. Ketone has carbon. So you have to number that carbon. And if you go for CN, CN also has carbon. So you have to number that carbon. Clear? If your functional group doesn't have hydrogen, like in the previous, doesn't have carbon, like in the previous case, if you take alcohol, we have oxygen. Oxygen is not a carbon, right? So that's why we did not number it. Okay? For NO2 containing compound, you should not number. So if your functional group has carbon, then you have to number that carbon also. Okay? If your functional group doesn't have carbon, then you have to start your numbering from the adjacent one, adjacent carbon. Is it clear? So here, one more thing you need to know. We have alkene and alkyne. Okay? Ene comes before ine in the name, no matter what the locant numbers are. Okay? So you should always keep alkene in the first preference compared to alkyne, no matter what the locant numbers are. Okay? Is it clear to all of you? Any doubt from this compound for anyone? Shall we go for the next topic? Shall we go for the next topic? Students say yes or no? Shall we go for the next? The next is the nomenclature of compounds with more than one functional group. With more than one functional group. So here you see, I have taken this compound. Here I have two functional groups. One is ketone and the other one is carboxylic acid. So if you're having more than one functional group in your compound, then you have to check which one will come first or which one is the main functional group. So how will you find out that? From the priority list only. Okay. So you all know that in the priority list, carboxylic acid will come first, right? So carboxylic acid is the main functional group. Carboxylic acid is the main functional group. You can also take this table. Okay, so this is the decreasing order of priority. So carboxylic acid comes first. And the ketone is coming here only. So this is the priority or table for the functional groups. Okay, so if you want to note down, you can take a screenshot of it. Okay, so follow this table to find out the priority. Now what you have to do, lowest priority is given to ketone. Okay, so if it is taking the second preference, then it acts as a substituent. It acts as a substituent. And COOH is the higher priority group, right? So which is a main functional group. It is a main functional group. So numbering has to be started from, numbering has to start from the COOH only. So right to left numbering is correct. COOH should get the first preference. Okay, since it is the main functional group. The suffix that you will use for this main functional group is oic acid. Okay, carboxylic acid group suffix is oic acid. Then, since ketone is taking the second preference, or since ketone is acting as a substituent, you have to use the prefix. The prefix for ketone is oxo. The prefix for ketone is oxo. Okay. So the main functional group has to take the suffix. The substituent should take the prefix. Okay. So this is the name, prefix and suffix. Now the position of the substituent is 5. Okay, the position of the substituent is 5. So it is 5-oxo, 5-oxo, okay. And all the carbons are having only single bond, okay, which has 6 carbons. So the root word will be hexane, oic acid. 5-oxo hexanoic acid is the name of this compound. Is it clear? Can you all able to understand? Any doubt? Do you guys have any doubt from this? 5-oxo hexanoic acid is the name of this compound. Clear, right? Fine. What is the name of this compound? Can anyone try? Can anyone try the name of this compound? Can anyone try the name of this compound? We have 2 carbons. So the root word should be it. Okay. And it has only single bond. So it is EANE. And we have 2 alcohol. So it is diol. Can you find out the name of this compound? I have given all the information. You just need to find out the name. What is the name of this compound? Try the name. The root word is it. Suffix is ANE. We have 2 alcohol. What is the name of this compound? It is ethane 1,2 diol. Ethane 1,2 diol. Okay. Ethane 1,2 diol is the name of this compound. Okay. So try for this. Try the name of this compound. We have a ketone and an alcohol. So in the priority list, ketone will take the first preference. So left to right numbering is correct. So alcohol will act as a substituent. So if it is acting as a substituent, then the prefix has to be used. The prefix for alcohol is hydroxy. So it is 7-hydroxy heptane 2-one. 7-hydroxy heptane 2-one. This is correct. Okay. 2-oxoheptane 7-ol is incorrect. Okay, you have to follow the priority order. Got it? So in some cases, alkyl, phenyl, halogens, nitro, alkoxy. So these 5 components will act as a substituent in most of the case. Okay? In most of the case, alkyl, phenyl, halogens, nitro, alkoxy will act as a substituent and they will be the prefix. Okay? So this is all about the examples of the compounds which has more than one functional group. Okay. I just want to give you one homework. So take down these questions. Give the IUPAC name of the following compounds. So try to find out the IUPAC name of these 4 compounds, and in the next class, we will discuss the name of these 4 compounds. Okay. So take this down as a homework, and I want you to do this. Come up with the correct answer in the next class we will discuss. Okay. So do you guys have any doubt from today's session? Today we have discussed the nomenclature of branched chain alkane and the compounds containing functional group, one functional group, more than one functional group, and its priority order and all. Okay. So try to revise and then come for the next class and do this homework before you come for the next class. Clear? Any doubt? There is no doubt. Okay then. Thank you so much for listening to today's class, students. Take care. Bye.